Let's talk some rookie contracts real quick. And again, we don't have them all yet, but I'm going to throw this up here and see if we can kind of give you guys an idea of how these are shaking out right now. I wish we could get that sidebar up. There's just nothing I can do. That's how Spot-Track's side is. So first round pick was Matthew Golden, right? His contract is not complete yet. Who was our first round pick in 2024? Help me with this, Emilio. 2024, who was our first round pick? Jordan Morgan. Okay, so let's see around where his contract landed at what, 3.2 million. So probably somewhere in that range. And I don't know if wide receivers are a little inflated. I think they're all slotted, not by position, but where they're drafted. Right? Yeah. So the fact that he was, I'm trying to think of what pick he was, like 28, maybe. 20.
I want to say Golden could be close to 4 mil, maybe.
So there you go. Yeah. So we'll call it 4 million. Right. Second round pick, Anthony Belton, has not been signed yet. And keep in mind, there's going to be a little bit of an inflation to these contracts as well. So like whatever they were last year, you need to tack on, I don't know, maybe 500,000-600,000, something like that. Probably a good starting point. Yep. But last year, our second round pick was our boy Javon Bullard, right? $1.5 million is his cap hit for 2025. So I'd say that's a pretty safe number, somewhere around $1.5 to $1.8 million will be Anthony Belton's number, right? Third round pick, I believe he is already under contract, and that's our boy Savion Williams. $1.1 million against the cap this year, man. What if you hit on that? What if you hit on Savion Williams?
That's our wide receiver core to a T right now. What if you hit on any of them? I mean, we've been blessed to have him for the 4 years we have had him, you know?
Yeah. Right. And you look at that wide receiver room, man, it is crowded. That's not – you notice Matthew Golden's not on that list either. I mean, that gets crowded quick. But look at the cap hits. Romeo Doubs is your most expensive wide receiver at $3.5 million this year. Then Christian Watson, 2.9, Jaden Reed, 1.9, Mecole Hardman, 1.4, Savion Williams, 1.1, Dontavion Wicks. Dontavion Wicks is going to be making less money than Savion Williams this year. That is wild to think about. Malik Heath, $1 million flat. Bo Melton, $1 million flat. Julian Fleming is on this list according to Spot-Track. Did we ever get any confirmation that he did sign with the Packers? I know we heard it early, but he wasn't at the camp, the rookie mini camp.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's legit or not. If anybody can help us out in the chat with that, we greatly appreciate it. Has anybody heard anything about Julian Fleming? Is he actually on the roster or not? That's the big question for me. But, Malik Heath, though, love him and Bo Melton, restricted free agents, right? If Julian Fleming, right, if Julian Fleming is on the roster, look at the advantage of signing those UDFAs. You've got rights to him for 4 years.
Yep.
So if you hit on one of those dudes, you're off running, man. Sure. Packernet Podcast in the house says, Savion to Wicks, lower your tone when you're talking to me. Love it. Love it. And I really hope Wicks comes out and balls out this year. Last year was ugly. It was tough to watch. His rookie year, if I remember correctly, was our highest graded wide receiver. He might have even graded out higher than Christian Watson, if I remember correctly. If not, he was second. So what if Wicks, that was a sophomore slump, and he returns back to his rookie kind of around that grade, and Savion Williams is a hit, and Matthew Golden's a hit? You're going to look up and go, we've got the cheapest wide receiver room in the league. And these are legit targets for Jordan Love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's exciting.
Right. Because then you're thinking, okay, if we don't sign Rome, Christian, whoever it is, where are they going? Are you getting any trade value out of them? Are you getting any comp picks? It could be the new, backup quarterback room. It could just be our wide receiver room. I mean, you come out with a lot more skill as a wide receiver nowadays. So let's see if they can't, turn it up real fast and make some money. You get in here, you perform for a year or two, and it's like, all right, we don't see you long term. We can go ahead and move you.
Yeah, definitely. B-Time10 says nothing about Fleming. So it's just fascinating, man. Like it was announced that they signed him. Spot-Track usually waits till they have the contract like legit from the league office before they even put the numbers up too. Right. So the fact that they've got him here on a 3-year deal plus a restricted free agency is just – I'm assuming he's going to be on the roster. I just don't know why he wasn't at minicamp. And there could have been a multiple reasons for that happening, sure. But all right, 4th round pick this year. Help me out here, man. Was that Barron Sorrell? Is that right?
That is correct.
All right, Barron Sorrell, $1 million flat. If you hit on him at edge defender, they got him. They got the defensive line all grouped together here. But if you hit on him and you've got a legit edge rusher for the next 4 years at less than $2 million. My goodness, man. That's the same thing with Colin Oliver down there too at $941,000. I mean, you hit on these draft picks, you're crapping in high cotton, no doubt. Nazir Stackhouse center too, a cool $840K. But look at how many. What if Nazir is a hit, and we got rights to him for 4 years?
Yeah.
That's what I think about.
Because you take Kenny out of there, it's basically our whole line. Our whole D line is 3% of our cap. If you take Kenny out of there, I mean, with Kenny, we're 10% total for the entire defensive line. That's impressive. Yeah. And they're working the numbers
big time. And I think something will be done with Kenny's $31.3 million cap hit next year. I really do. Like whether they restructure it and bring that number down, and he takes a little more team-friendly deal. I don't know if he will, or they just decide to move on from him. I don't know. The fact that they didn't draft a top 3 round 3 tech to kind of help fill in that void in that nickel 4-2-5. If Kenny does leave, that makes me a little bit more like, okay, they'll probably just restructure. Right. But who knows, man? It may fall into place next year. There may be a big free agent out there next year that they could sign and cut ties with Kenny. That could happen as well. So 5th round pick, I think we already covered it. That's Colin Oliver, right?
Yep.
6th round pick was trying to think. Was that Micah?
No, 6th round was the tackle, I believe, wasn't it? Jonah
Williams, is that what you said?
Yeah, 6 was Warren Brinson.
Warren Brinson, got it. Okay, so Warren Brinson on the defensive line, his number 896,000. Okay, and then of course you've got it's Micah Robinson, I believe, if I remember correctly. Micah Robinson 868,000, and then of course you had John Williams at offensive tackle. I think was the 7th round pick. He's sitting there at 865K as well. So. That just wanted to give a quick update. Here's how the rookie contracts are laid out. The big takeaway is this wide receiver room, man. That's where it's going to be. This wide receiver room. If you hit on one of these guys, and Tay Wicks takes a step forward, like he did his rookie year, Jaden Reed, I want to say returns to form, but the only thing Jaden Reed was missing last year was targets. If he'd had, Dontavion Wicks got more targets than him. If he had gotten 20 or 30 more targets, Jaden Reed goes over 1,000 yards and nobody's slandering that name. That's just amazing to me. So, Savion too, man. I mean, just golly, I'm excited.
That's the only problem. Like you want Reed to take off. Where the touch is going to go though? If Golden gets out there, Savion gets out there, Tucker's going off again. Josh Jacobs needs his, and then you want to get Marshawn Lloyd involved. You want to get Love on the move. All this stuff is going to take into consideration, but. You look at this year, we're squared away. Our wide receiver room is under 3%, maybe under 5% for sure, maybe under 3-ish. And moving into next year, we at least have a little bit of a base now. If you're looking at it beforehand, it's like, oh, wow, we got a lot of openings coming into this next year. You pick up 2 more wide receivers for another 4 years. You already have a nice buffer. You basically have 4 ready to go.
Right. Eldegrim says, have Golden and Belton signed yet? I don't believe they have, Eldegrim, but there's nothing to worry about there for sure. Like with the new CBA, I'm not saying you do this, but every year fans on Twitter start getting, why haven't they signed yet? Well, they're going to sign. They're either going to sign or they're not going to play football.
Don't they normally sign like 7th? They work their way back, 7th, 6th, 5th, work their way back
up. That's the way I remember it happening here recently. Yeah. So nothing to worry about there for sure. Someone said Musgrave as well, big time did. If we look at the tight end position real quick, Musgrave 2.3, Tucker Kraft 1.5. What a steal on Tucker Kraft's contract, man. Ben Sims, I love that restricted free agency next year too. So you
got tight end room is under what 2%. It's like, dude, where we got? I feel like we have so much money stashed around. Can we go to the overall? Like none of these guys are breaking most of them are 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. We have a handful of people over a single digit percentage. I mean, look, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 people over 5% of the cap. 6.
Right. Yeah. And again, Jordan Love leading the way at $29.6 million. Rashawn Gary, $25.7 million. Jair Alexander, $24.6 million. We'll see if he's on the roster. Kenny Clark, $20.3 million. Xavier McKinney, $17.8 million. Elton Jenkins, $17.6 million. Josh Jacobs, $11.3 million. That's that money right there. Josh Jacobs at $11.3 million. Sign me up, dude. Well, golly. Aaron Banks' cap hit. Everybody talking about how that cap, his contract's just over the moon. Cap hit this year only $9 million. Keyshawn Nixon 6.8. Nate Hobbs 5.9. Right, another one of your free agent acquisitions this year. And then, of course, you got Lucas Van Ness at 4.7. After that, man, it's just changed. It's pocket change. Sure.
And I love that Jordan's highest percentage of the cap, 10%, is max. You go look at the Cowboys cap. I'm pretty sure CD, Dak, and was it Micah? I'm pretty sure they all have over like 15% of the cap hit each year. And it's like, how are you running a team like that? Mm-hmm. Where is all that money going?
Yep. Harry Cheese says, imagine we can have Savion, Golden, and Watson on the field. Good luck covering and then making the tackle. It's a great point, man. Great point. Put goal. I mean, and that's not even including Reed. Like I'm telling you, Jaden Reed's the best receiver on this team as it sits right now. I think he's better than Christian Watson personally. Now, listen, there's two different types when you talk in terms of deployment. Obviously, Jaden Reed's not that dude that's going to line up there at boundary X and you're going to try to take the top off the defense like you do with Christian. But yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. And the reality is all these guys aren't going to be back, right? They're not. Next year it's going to look much different. Go Pack Go All Day says, what Packers wide receivers are not making the 53-man roster? We kind of talked about that the other night. We go back to, gosh, what was that? Was it multi-year? Probably the easiest way to pull up the here we go. What receivers are not going to make the roster? Just to kind of recap that again where we hit that. I think it was last night we talked about or a couple of nights ago. Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, Nico Hardman, Savion Williams, Dontavion Wicks, Malik Heath, Bo Melton, Julian Fleming, Julian Hicks, Cornelius Johnson, right? You're going to carry 6. Christian Watson's going to start the season on IR, right? So let's say it's Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Savion Williams, Dontavion Wicks, Nico Hardman, Malik Heath. Those would be the 6 I would keep. And you try to stash Bo Melton on the practice squad and call him up when need be, right? Now, they may go away from Nico Hardman and keep Bo Melton. I can understand that too. Me personally, I think I would rather have Nico Hardman over Bo Melton just because you got he's the veteran in the room.
You're right. You're right. He did reach out to already drafted players, first thing off. That's cool. I like that. And, coming into a different team, you got to be ready for something like that. You got to be able to kind of step in. And if you're that, not even a leadership role, if you're just that veteran role, lead with leadership. And that's, I love that he is doing that. Just step right into it. No problem.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. Greg Rice says Green Bay should throw Jacobs some more money. I think they will, Greg. I don't know if it'll happen before this season, but you guys remember when they signed him, it was basically a 1-year deal. 1 year structured, I think, in a 4-year package, essentially what it looked like. Yeah, so he's got 3 more years left on his deal. I think they will guarantee him some more money, and I think they should. And I think that's important for the culture. I know there are some fans that hear that and go, nope, he signed the contract. He's got to honor it. Okay, you take the guy that's the most unselfish. He's become the team leader on offense, in my opinion. Josh Jacobs is that dude. And you start shortchanging him, watch that roster, watch that locker room look around and go, damn, if they ain't going to pay him, what are these people? What are they even about?
A dude that was there for every game when we were down a quarterback. I mean, just consistency all around. He was trending. If you scroll down a little bit, they had him a number 1. They had him on the sidebar there trending. Josh Jacobs, trending players there. Okay, all right. Why is he trending? Don't love that, but okay.
Oh, I know why. I know why. I don't like him above Justin Tucker, but I know why. He made some comments on and it wasn't nothing negative, but he was on. What was he on? Was it Bussin' with the Boys? It might have been. He was on a recent podcast. So yeah, and it all seemed positive to me.
Gotcha.
He had to say. That's probably why he was trending. So yeah, but Justin Tucker trending for a different reason. Tough look there. So, yeah, Joseph, that's perfectly said. I was shocked at how quickly Jacobs made me not miss Aaron